It's offensive, that's offensive, he's offensive, she's offensive, they're offensive, we're offensive, everyone's offensive. No offense, I didn't mean to offend. Were you offended? I was offended. I was rather offended. You offend me. Did I offend you? No offense was intended. Don't take offense. Offensive language, offensive content, offensive subject matter, offensive jokes, offensive dogs barking in the background. Everything is so very offensive. Offensive to heterosexuals, offensive to homosexuals, offensive to bisexuals and asexuals and trisexuals and omnisexuals and every other kind of sexual out there. Offensive to blacks, to whites, to Latinos, to Jews, to Arabs, to every race on the planet. Offensive to Marxists and fascists and liberals and conservatives and feminists and libertarians. Offensive to every ideology on the map. Offensive to Christians, Muslims, Jews, pagans, Wiccans, Satanists, and atheists just like me. Feminists are offended when I stare at their ass in public, and I'm offended when they call me a fat slob, and everyone around us is offended by our public display of animosity. And Christian conservatives are offended that you look at pornography on your computer. Hey, feminists are offended about that too, go figure. It seems to me that being offended is a perfectly natural thing. We're all human beings with insecurities, and certain things rub us the wrong way, like an inexperienced masseuse at an Asian massage parlor. But don't worry, because this story can still have a happy ending. We have to recognize one basic primeval truth about ourselves, that our being offended, and Cody, give me a drum roll here. Yeah, that's good. Nice little drum roll. Us being offended is absolutely meaningless. Like, I know for a fact that when people tell me that the Twilight movies are good movies, I get offended. But I don't start some kind of fucking campaign to get those movies banned from the theaters. I mean, I could do that, and I'd probably have a bunch of people supporting me, but those people would be idiots, because they're people who hold their standard to be more important than other people's rights to experience whatever bullshit they want to experience. I get offended a lot. I get offended by the stupidity of my species, and I share my frustration with you people, and you can take it or leave it of your own volition. But the moment I start trying to ban things that I don't like just because I don't like them, I lose all credibility. And don't get me wrong, there are things in this world that we probably should ban, but they're usually things that involve one person fucking with another person in a very substantial and unavoidable way. For instance, I don't remember who said it, but there's this great quote about my right to throw punches ends at your face. You see what I'm saying here? I could sit here and do this all day long as it's not affecting you, but the second it makes contact and shatters your skull into 5,000 pieces because I am enormously strong, that's when my right to do that ends. You see what I'm saying? You get it? You fucking detecting the nuance of this fucking argument? Gay people are offended by bigots? Fine. Then gay people shouldn't associate with bigots. Bigots are offended by gay people? Fine. Then bigots shouldn't associate with gay people. But when gay people say, okay, we gotta pass some hate speech laws against these bigots saying these bigoted things, that's wrong. And similarly, bigots shouldn't try to legislate their horse shit in the form of constitutional amendments trying to ban gay marriage. It's just horse shit. There are too many people out there who think that just because homosexuality offends them, that they can tell homosexuals what to do. They think that them being offended makes the object of their offense indebted to them in some way. But it doesn't. And guess what? All you people out there that are applauding because, oh, he's going for gay marriage, that's wonderful. It's wonderful that he's speaking in favor of gay marriage. The same argument applies to polygamy, which I know isn't anywhere near as popular. But if you want to be a guy that marries 50 chicks, and you have the means to do that, and they're all consenting, that's fine. If you want to marry 50 dudes, same deal. Whatever social contract you want to enter into, that's fine with me. I don't care if it offends 99.9% of people. If it's your thing and it's between consenting adults, I don't see how it's any of those people's business. Unless you're hurting someone, and against their will, mind you, if you're hurting someone against their will, then it's everyone else's business because we have to protect the rights of everybody. But to take away your right, that's not protecting the rights of everybody. We have to remember. Am I being too idealistic here? Yeah, probably am. I probably am being a little bit too idealistic when I say that human beings can stop putting their offense up on a pedestal and saying, yeah, This is how things should be, because these are the things I don't like personally on a personal level, and I have to legislate that to everyone else. We're going to continue on with our campaigns to stop everything and ban everything until everything has been stopped and everything has been banned. We did it to Galileo when his scientific discoveries contradicted scripture. We're offended, stop him! We did it to J.D. Salinger when his book was offensive to us. Oh, it's offensive, we have to ban it! We need to stop stopping things. We need to stop banning things as well. We need to realize that if you're living in a country where someone can say something that offends you, that means you're also living in a country where you can say something that offends them. Do we want to be a nation of deaf mutes? Or do we want to grow thicker skin and bigger middle fingers? So, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, we're doing a BlogTV show this Saturday around noon, Central Standard Time. We will be raising money to procure a new camera. We will also be talking to a lot of cool guest speakers and probably bringing them down to our level rather than raising up to theirs. We also want to pimp out the amazing soundtrack by ASTRONAUT. It's really good. I don't know, for those of you who've seen Amazing, you probably know that the soundtrack was really good. It was an original soundtrack, and you can check that out. One more thing is you can actually buy Cody Weber as your personal sex slave. That's also down below. Sweet. Females only for that one. Cody does not want to be owned by some hairy dude. And you have to be at least a 6. So.